this is something that's very interesting, and it speaks to the cycling. And this is directly from the paper. We've talked about the cycling. They go right in. This is probably the most concise description I've ever seen. And they say about the cycling, if someone is tested by PCR as positive when a threshold of 35 cycles or higher is used, as is the case in most laboratories in Europe and the US, the probability that said person is actually infected is less than 3%.
Whoa.
The probability that said result is false positive is 97%.
My God. Oh, we're destroying the world with this test, and it's 97% inaccurate. Did you hear that, folks? This is not me. This is not somebody, a reporter out there. This is a pretty large group of scientists involved in this too, right? Authors on this rebuke of the PCR test.
Yeah, there's 22, and these are not
22.
run-of-the-mill scientists. These are researchers. These are world-renowned doctors and academics, people that have held positions in pharmaceutical companies such as Pfizer. Now, let's look at the conclusion of this paper. I know it's a long segment, but it's so important. So they say, in light of our re-examination of the test protocol to identify SARS-CoV-2 described in the Corman-Drosten paper, we have identified concerning errors and inherent fallacies which render the SARS-CoV-2 PCR test useless. If there's a headline, that's it right there. And finally, they say a decision to recognize the errors apparent in the Corman-Drosten paper has the benefit to greatly minimize human costs and suffering going forward. Is it not in the best interest of Eurosurveillance to retract this paper? Our conclusion is clear. In the face of all the tremendous PCR protocol design flaws and errors described here, we conclude there is not much of a choice left in the framework of scientific integrity and responsibility.
Boom. Wow, Jeffrey, that's gigantic. That's gigantic. We have, and this really is behind this entire pandemic. Without the false positives of this PCR test, none of this story adds up.